Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Mantis.
and today we are going to be discussing an article that was just recently published that RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., did, talking about his potential return to the MCU. So, with that said, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the discussion. All right, guys. So, this article, Mantis, correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't know why we keep always coming back to these Variety magazine articles, but it's just the ones that we seem to get alerts on first. But the article was from Variety, correct, where he had stated about potential return.
I think it was quoted from a couple. Maybe it was Deadspin. I don't know. There's the one I read was from IGN, but what they do, we talked about this before. What they do is one person reports it, and then all of these outlets just copy it.
Tells two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
They do. So who knows who originally did it? But yeah, does seem you're right. It seems to be Variety does the majority of them.
I just seen a lot of the links that it just keeps popping up, and I'm like, all right, like I'm maybe like, but it is so we do confirm it off of like
Several
comic book
sources.
news and things of that nature as well too. We never do a video where it's just this one article, and most of the time like we'll wait until like IMDb or something has confirmed it as well if it is about a character introduction or an actor or actress going to play a character, but. We've talked several times on this channel about Robert Downey Jr. and his possible return. On the Joe Rogan podcast, he had talked about what he said is exactly how I feel, right? The character is dead, let them stay dead. Mantis, I know you feel strongly about that as well.
Completely agree with it. To put it short and
Here's
sweet. Completely agree.
here's the problem though. And he said that, and then of course, now that he's doing articles saying that he would be interested in returning. Even Chris Evans has said he would be interested in reprising the role after this happened, and that gave me a little hope that they'll just let the actor let the character kind of die out like that. That was his ending. But with this whole now we can just pull from all these different universes, and this occurs on both the Marvel and DC side. It's just like, oh well, yeah, his character died, but we'll go get a different Robert Downey Jr. or a different Tony Stark from another universe. So it's not. It's like this loophole, and I don't like that, right? At least personally, Mantis. I don't know how you feel about the loophole that they're using.
To me it's a technicality, and they're trying to just put lipstick on a pig, in my opinion. I'm not saying the character's not good and they're trying to fluff it up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, and I want to clarify this. When you were mentioning Robert Downey Jr. being on Joe Rogan, who said that he should stay dead? Was that Joe Rogan or was that Robert Downey Jr. that said that? Because I have
That
not
was
seen
that
that
was
one yet.
Robert Downey Jr.
Well, let me ask you the question. If I pick the jersey back up and put it on, wouldn't you feel a little bit like, oh,
No.
crap?
So what the hell changed? Like, why all of a sudden is he like, oh, I'd be happy to return to the MCU?
Well, I think
Like,
for one, the MCU is hurting right now, so they're going to throw. I mean, they were already throwing
oh,
large amounts of money at him, anyways, right? And
oh
when you
yeah.
think about your legacy of playing, this iconic superhero, right, and you're a role model and inspiration for this young kids, and everything else like that, and then you slap on this company offering you $50 million for a role or something. So that's what he was getting for the last couple.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, $50 million. I'll do whatever you want. I'll put on monkey suit and jump around and dance and bang some cymbals together for 40 minutes. Like, I don't give a shit, right?
Well,
Like,
especially when they play it of, hey, we're not reviving your character. We're going to have you be a different Tony Stark, right? So again, there's that loophole that even to him, and he's like, well, okay, yeah, it's not my character died.
he's
And
he's gonna spend 3 months trying to talk himself into that same thing that you just said. He's like, I know I said I didn't he should die, but I'm gonna spend the next 3 months trying to talk myself into thinking it's okay somehow.
This is ridiculous, okay? I'll go. Shit.
And really, it's like, well, you don't need to really wait 3 months to talk yourself into it. Like $50 million is a pretty fucking good reason.
20 million and 50. 20 million in 20s,
and 10 million in 10.
and 10 million in 10s. You want any fives with that?
Like, in my opinion, like, okay, yeah, I said he should die, but you know what? These stacks of cash over here say differently, right? And I'd be like, you know what? I agree. I'm not that married to the whole lore of it. I don't have to answer to anyone. And you know what? I don't think anyone, if literally, here's the thing, he can come out and in this article, the IGN one, I'm sure it's the same quote from the Variety one. You know, he was saying, it's an integral part of my DNA, right? Like that role chose me. I will never say bet against Kevin Feige in this instance. Of course, we talked about Kevin Feige is his very instrumental construction of the MCU, and that's fine. He can say all these things, but quite frankly, he doesn't need to. All he has to say is, "Yeah, they paid me an assload of money," and I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, don't bullshit me with all of this." Oh, it's an integral part. You know, I spent so much. No, that's fine. That's fine. I don't. That all you have to say is they offered me an assload of money, and I'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he win an award for Oppenheimer?
Who?
RDJ.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did specifically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually, and we just looked it up here. He won like an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and an Academy Award for his supporting role in Oppenheimer, right? So, you know, when you think about like, and even when he played Sherlock Holmes and some of these other characters, like his, you know, those characters that actually really move audiences outside your comic book audience, those roles have been more impactful, I'd say. However, because with Iron Man, it's about the kids, right? You know, it's about the families and everything else like that, and that's what's making you billions of dollars.
I think it's unfair. I know we're getting off onto a tangent here, but I think it's unfair that comic book movies are not, and even action movies, like really think in the action. If it's not a drama, like I feel like we're just not in line for an award. Like I don't know what it is, and this is why I don't think it. Quite frankly, I don't think I've ever actually watched the Academy Awards or any award show, so it's not like I really give a shit about that. But like I know they do; it's their profession and whatever. That's fine. I think it's kind of unfair that they don't look at comic book movies in that aspect in the same light that they do dramas and those type of like serious movies. Because I think you're right. Like of any character in like comic book movies over the past 20 years, I feel like he's done a really good job. Even if it wasn't a comic book movie, I feel like his acting is very good in the movies that he's been in, even the shitty ones, right? Even the shitty ones that he's played cameos in or whatever. Like he's done the same character. It's been the same. Not the same. I mean, the character has grown obviously since its inception, but he's done such a great job playing that character that I think it's not fair, you know, that he didn't get a little bit of a nod on the awards for his Tony Stark portrayal.
Yeah, but I think the reason why is because, you know, these are awards for acting, right? Like it's how well, like in Oppenheimer, how well you act the role. Where I feel like most people think Robert Downey Jr. is just being himself playing Tony Stark, so he's not acting; he's just being himself on camera.
Well,
and I'm joking, guys. I'm just saying, like, but it does kind of like most people, I feel like, take it that way, right? Like, oh, he's just being himself.
Yeah.
He's just being RDJ. So, like, what he's going to win an award for being himself. Whereas, yeah, he's what, you know, brought. I mean, he basically, like I said, he's the foundation that the MCU is built upon, and it's no shock that after he's gone, that it's just crumbling, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I kind of bringing it back to kind of the main topic, and we can wrap up on this short video. Here's my final thoughts on it. We've talked about this concept plenty of times where I prefer, especially in this instance where he's been in a, how long is the whole phases until in game when he died? Like how many movies? How many years was that? Roughly, exactly.
Well, so it was 2008.
Like
it was 2008 when Iron Man came out, and yeah, so you're looking at about 28 movies ish.
Yeah, so like 17, 18 years roughly in that amount of time. Man, I just think you need to walk off into the sunset. You know, the sunlight's getting kind of low, big guy. You know, just
Hey, big guy, the sun's getting real low. Ah, shit, fuck.
just walk out on top. That's just my opinion. I think it makes the movies hit harder because what's going to happen is people are inevitably going to go back in, let's just say 10 years, 15 years. People are going to go back and watch Iron Man, the very first MCU movies again, right? Because the bullshit that the MCU is putting out right now is so bad. They're going to want to go back and watch the good shit.
Now, there's nothing wrong with these two. This is real good shit. But this one is a fucking madman.
Right? So I just, it worries me about bringing him back in any aspect in a character that's similar to his normal Iron Man. Oh, it's not the same because he's from a different universe or he's evil or whatever. I don't, it's more selfish, quite honestly, because what's going to happen, I'm going to go back and watch that movie. And if I have this thing in my mind that they released him in Secret Wars or something like that, and it's bad, like, I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to pretend that didn't exist. Like that didn't happen. Right. So.
Well, and see, and there's the thing, we talked about it in a previous video about, that when you crescendo, like how Marvel did, the MCU did at the end of Endgame, right? You hit that peak, and then, you're trying to follow up and you're trying to go bigger and bigger. And it's just like, at some point, you just reset everything and then start with a completely different line, right?
Mhm.
Kind of like what the DCU's doing, just reset and start new and fresh, because that's going to be the only way you're
Which
going
they
to
did for a different reason.
Yeah, but I mean, similar as far as like the idea
Yeah.
behind what they're doing, not why.
Exactly.
For the DCU
Exactly.
is because the only way, everything else is not working for you right now as far as with Marvel. So the only way you're going to make Secret Wars work, because it's even bigger and it goes more galactic and universal than Endgame did, is like you need the leader of the MCU, and the leader for the Avengers and the MCU's been Tony Stark. So you're going to bring him back. And if you do a terrible movie or even an okay movie, now you kind of tarnish the image that we had that he died so tragically. Even if you play it that it's a different RDJ or a different, Tony Stark, it's like we knew he went out like a boss, man. He went out and he had a great send off. It's like don't ruin that. And real quick, I'll say, so kind of bring it to a sports analogy is, grew up around the time when, I was watching NBA. Jordan was the guy, man. Jordan was the man. And I remember, obviously, when his dad died, he retired the first time. He came back. He did great, but then he retired the second time. And when he came back and he was on the Wizards, I remember watching the All-Star game, and he gets a fast break. He runs down the court, goes to do one of those, classic Jordan slams. Ball bounces off the rim, shoots literally across the freaking court, right? And I watched him in the All-Star game, and it was sad, right? Because he was the greatest. That's in my mind when he retired. Like, you retired as the greatest, and then you came back the second time, and it wasn't there. And I don't want that to happen with like RDJ. I don't want, like, go out, leave on that high note, and just, like you said, right off into the sunset. Just kind of do, let them have to figure it out, man. Again, you're getting great roles and you're getting freaking awards, and all this other stuff for these roles. Yeah, just let it go. Let them don't come in. But again, how do you say no to millions and millions of dollars? Which, I mean, I don't know,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would say take it. I'm not Robert Downey Jr. though. I mean, I can't. This is like we was talking about. Like, how can you make decisions of millionaires if you're not a millionaire? You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they have. I'm just saying, for me, tomorrow, if someone offered me $50 million to do, like I said, whatever literally stand there and in a clown suit for 30 minutes in the backdrop of a movie, I'd do it. Like, whatever. I don't care. Robert Downey Jr. He's a millionaire, billionaire, I'm sure at this point. Like, I don't think doing one or two movies is gonna affect his portfolio enough to make a difference. That's just my opinion. I don't know that. I'm just assuming. I'm with you. I'm like, dude, and it, like we said, like, what was it? I think he was on Rob Lowe's podcast, and he even said on there some of his best work, he said, came when he was as Tony Stark. And they went a bit unnoticed because he was as superhero films. You've made enough money as Tony Stark. You've done a great job as Tony Stark in the movies that you were in with him. I think move on to something else, explore the comedy realm a little bit, explore the serious drama realm, or become an actor or a director, do something else or whatever. Just I don't want it to be I don't want him to be a victim of, well, this is what we've always done, or a victim of, well, they offered me an assload of money and, I'm going to shit all over this character now and it's going to be bad and it has nothing. Because what my fear is he could have the best performance in the world. It could be his best performance as Tony Stark ever. But I don't know if it's enough to save with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it is.
And we're going to wrap this up, guys. I promise we wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter. But, it was the same thing with Ryan Reynolds, right? We all know, just like RDJ, Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. And that's his character, kind of like Iron Man is RDJ's, right? But with what's going on with Marvel and Disney right now, they were trying to force things on him, and we haven't really touched on it a whole lot. We try to stay away from all of that kind of stuff. That what was going on with Ryan Reynolds, where he basically took a stand, said, "No, I'm not doing this." He had to take a stand and basically kind of rally support to say we're not doing what you want to do just because you want to inject certain ideologies in here. And it comes down to that. This is what these actors are having to do right now. And Robert Downey Jr., and, if he goes into these and they say, well, we're going to do this now, and we're going to do this now, he's maybe not wanting to ruffle as many feathers or willing to, just because, again, where he's at in life, he can just let it go and just say, no, I'm just not going to be a part of it. So, again, love RDJ. I've loved him since Weird Science, good old 80s movie. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's great. Even though he was a jerk in that movie, he was still awesome. All of his roles, Kirk Gladster, all this stuff. Like I love his everything basically he does great. And I want him to kind of move on now, right? He's done great. I think, like him, Chris Evans, you've done great in the roles. I get being a hero to people, kids, especially like his kids and all this. Oh, I'm Iron Man. Well, you still are. You always will be. Everybody will always think of you as Iron Man in that aspect. But let the MCU die if that's what has to happen.
Just don't be in there to get killed with it, right?
Exactly. Like he's earned the right to get off on that life raft, right? He does not have to go down with the boat, right? So
nope, he does not.
Yeah. So get out there, leave the cello players and them just go do your own thing, guys. But let us know down in the comments. Are we crazy? I mean, maybe you feel the same way. You have the passion for the character and for what he's brought to the MCU. But do you agree, or are we crazy? Pretty sure we're not, but it's self-reflection sometimes. Or in this world, you kind of feel like you are going crazy. Nothing's making sense anymore. If you
kill you. Sorry.
Confidentially, I am crazy, and I'll fucking kill you.
And confidentially, I am crazy, and I'll kill you.
Special reference. I'll cut it in here. Don't worry, guys. But if you've made it with us this far, we apologize for dragging this on a little longer than we wanted, but we do thank you and all of our subscribers, both new and the ones that have been here from the beginning. If you like this video, he's going to show you where you need to click on the right over me. Okay, yeah, click right there where he's pointing to like it, subscribe to the channel. We definitely have a lot more videos coming with all the crazy amounts of news we're getting from both sides, MCU and DCU here. And like I said, let us know down in the comments. Are we crazy, or do you agree with us?
Yep. Stay tuned. Follow, like, subscribe. Like Cal said, summer movie schedules coming up here. A lot of news in the next 3 to 4 months. So subscribe to the channel and come along with us. We're going to be bringing you a lot of awesome stuff.
And guys, if you are, last thing I promise, swear, if you are gamers and you are interested, Mantis actually has his own gaming channel now where he is doing streams, as well as there will be videos if you miss the streams. Right now, he is playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if you are fans of that, definitely go check that out. I know he'd appreciate it. And I, as being a person that does this channel with him, would appreciate you going and supporting him, because it's good stuff over there as well. And I love that game. So
yeah, it's fun. Come check it out. You know,
that'll be linked
though.
down below. So. I'm looking. I got to get this other video out here as well too. That's ready to go. So I know I'm bad, guys. I promise. I'm going to get better at linking the stuff down below that I say will be down below. But I will have a link to his gaming channel down below for you guys.
Yeah, come watch that. It should be fun.
All right, and until then, guys, we will see you on the next one.
Later.